Welcome in on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis, and now we can get to the originally scheduled game today. It's the Olney Cropdusters at the Gaithersburg Giants here from Criswell Automotive Field. Thank you so much for joining me on this lovely Wednesday evening from Gaithersburg, Maryland. And we have a Giants debut. It'll be Logan Wiley, the UMBC retriever, on the mound for Gaithersburg, making his first start and first appearance. Wiley for UMBC this past spring in his second year with the Retrievers, a 5.8 ERA across 14 appearances, 7 of those starts, 40 and a third innings pitched, 51 hits, 35 runs, 26 of them earned, and a strikeout to walk ratio of 27-18. He looks to propel himself up the depth chart for UMBC with a nice summer. Comes in to this Giants rotation, which really doesn't have many solidified names to it in terms of a rotation. He joins a pitching staff that is trying to solidify each other. Alex Cromwell was able to pitch the last 2 innings of the previous game. There was no third inning pitched for Cromwell because there was a 4 spot in the bottom of the 8th due to some throwing errors that allowed the Cropdusters to erase a 3-run deficit and win the game from June 26th, resumed today, 10-9. This game, however, was originally on the schedule, and it'll be Logan Wiley facing Cade Walter to start. Walter had a 2 RBI double in the bottom of the 8th that helped the Cropdusters get within 1 run, and then he came around to score to tie the game. The sophomore from Jacksonville is batting at a 714 clip in the last 7 days. Really high average for him. Now he faces Wiley. Bunts back off the glove of Hughes behind home plate. And the count is 0-1. Walter, another Jacksonville product, just like Cade Hentz at shortstop for the Giants. Called strike 2. Hentz returning for his second summer with Gaithersburg. Last summer was cut a little short due to an injury, but now returns to the Giants and starts at shortstop. 0-2, misses inside on Walter at 80. Wiley eyeing his first punch out as a Giant. 1-2 to Walter. This is almost above the head on Walter. Count evens at 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Off the neck of the bat. Diaz fields it, has to throw quickly over, and not in time. It slowed down in the grass. Took a little bit of a jump towards the end. Came off the bat at 47, so it was already a slow hit. Got even slower, and ultimately Diaz didn't have enough time to deliver a throw. So Cade Walter now stands on first with an infield single. Now Walker Zampella squares to bunt, and that pitch gets away. Walter will take second. Zampella batting just 100 in the last 7 days. Has played 3 games over those 7 days. 1-0. This one hit right back up the middle. Goes off the glove. Bare hand. Now throw over. Logan Wiley with a chaotic start here. Had the line drive originally in his glove, but his glove got knocked off, leaving the bat of Zampella at 93. Hot shot. And Wiley collects the baseball, still able to get the out. Walter stayed on first. So, interesting way to record your first out as a starting pitcher. But now there's one away. First pitch to Carter Ritchie called strike one. Carter Ritchie, the senior at VCU. Oh, 1. Wiley delivers. Misses outside. Ritchie being the upperclassman to Colin Hughes for this past spring, as Hughes was a freshman at VCU but now in the portal. 1-1. Swing and a miss by Carter Ritchie, and the count goes to 1-2. And another VCU Ram waits in the on-deck circle in Will Henson, another senior for Adam Leader's squad. 1-2 to Carter Ritchie. Wiley eyes down Walter, delivers now. This one put on the ground to Hentz. Hentz bobbles it and can't make a throw over. Now runners on the corners for Will Henson. Rude awakening of a start for Cade Hentz's second stint with Gaithersburg with that error, but now runners on the corners for the Cropdusters. Will Henson steps in. Henson late on that one, fouls it up into the netting, and he's down 0-1. Tipped back. 0-2. The third batter this inning that Wiley's had in a two-strike count has not gotten his first punch out yet. Can he get it here? 0-2 from Wiley. Left it low. And it's 1-2 now. Runner goes, no throw, and no called strike three. 2-2 the count as Ritchie swipes second. Two runners in scoring position now for Will Henson in the top of the first. 2-2 skips in, full count. Full count pitch, one away. Called strike three on the outside part of the plate. And there is the first punch out for Logan Wiley. An important punch out. Now gets rid of the sacrifice opportunity for the Cropdusters to take an early lead. And now that brings up Rowan Klein, the designated hitter and a sophomore from Utah. Klein puts this one on the ground and foul. Klein, before heading to Utah, is a native of Renton, Washington. But he's down 0-1. Freezing the hands. Now 1-1. 1-1, 2 outs to Rowan Klein. Swing and a miss. Now he's down 1-2. Wiley 1 pitch away from getting out of the jam. Gave up a single and then a reach on error for Carter Ritchie, who stands on second, but Cade Walters single on third. Check swing, and they say he went. 2 punch-outs for Logan Wiley in his first inning as a Giant, and more importantly, a goose egg on the board for the Cropdusters in the top of the first. We'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network as Gaithersburg can grab an early lead. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis here in the originally scheduled game on this Wednesday evening as the Cropdusters unable to score in the top of the first. Now the Giants can try and get on the board first in this one. Gabe Beschloss is on the mound. The sophomore from East Carolina, Gabe Beschloss, making his second start, 5th overall appearance for the Cropdusters. 10 innings pitched this summer, 13 hits, 10 runs, 8 of them earned, and 8 walks to 9 strikeouts. He faces Nate Houghton-Henley. Watches strike 1 on the inside at 90. Oh, 1. Froze him at 90, but it's too high, and it's 1-1. That one misses way outside at 91. 2-1 the count now to the leadoff man for Gaithersburg, Nate Houghton-Henley. Henley batting at .250 this summer thus far. 2-1. Check swing went around, and it's called strike 2 either way at 91. So Beschloss has consistently put it up into the 90s. 2-2. Fouled off at 91. Count remains 2-2 to Nate Houghton-Henley. Grounded over to Zampella at second. His throw is in time for out number 1. And that brings up Brady Ruiz-Weiss. First pitch to Weiss. Leaves that one low. Didn't score a bunt there on the 81-mile-an-hour pitch. 1-0 to Weiss. He hangs this one up into left field. Tracking it is Knight and makes the grab for out number 2. So Beschloss working quickly now. 2 outs in under 8 pitches for Beschloss, and that'll bring up Brady Powell. Powell in the 3 spot in this game. That one bounces up and over Carter Ritchie. Powell, usually the leadoff guy, has just been that consistent when it comes to getting hits and getting on base. Manager TJ Brockway putting him in the 3-hole. 1-0, fouled off and into the netting, 1-1. Swing and a miss. Going around is Powell, and Beschloss 1 pitch away from going 3 up, 3 down. Has Powell 1-2. Left outside. Evens the count at 2-2. Powell batting .333 this summer. Second on the Giants in hits with 19. 2-2 left up high. Full count. And I mentioned this in the previous 3 innings of baseball we had today in that previous game. Powell aggressive on the early pitches, but still able to be patient and work his at-bats as he's done here. Full count pitch. Left outside. And a very nice walk from Brady Powell. Sees himself on base. Powell's 12th walk of the summer. Powell also is the leader in steals for the Giants, the only one in double digits as well, with 12. First pitch to Colin Hughes, called strike 1. We'll see how long Powell stays on first. 0-1, left low at 80 by Hughes. Now 1-1 the count. Wonder what the chatter is like between Ritchie and Hughes as they've gone through all the catcher drills this spring. Hughes cranks this one into right field. That's down for a base hit. Powell didn't take off early, so he'll just stay at second, but it is a 2-out single for Colin Hughes. Welcome back to the lineup, Colin Hughes, as he was away for the weekend on college visits, and gives you evidence as to why he has those college visits. 92 off the bat, and keeps the line moving for Bryce Rudisill. Rudisill has that one go off the neck of the bat. Didn't break his bat like previously today. Had a bat that completely snapped in half. Rudisill able to keep this one in one piece. 0-1. Popped up into shallow right, and Swanson calls for it and lunges over. Does make the grab, and that ends the inning. So Powell and Hughes unable to cross home plate. It's zeros on the board after 1, and we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. We go to the second inning here in Gaithersburg. Logan Wiley had some traffic in the first inning, but still kept the Cropdusters at bay. Gave up a leadoff single to Cade Walter, who was stranded on third, and then a reach-on error by Carter Ritchie who was left on. This one lined over to Cantiliano, 1 pitch, 1 out. That easy for Cantiliano. Retires Jaden Knight. And that brings up Caden Ahern, the first baseman, sophomore from Lehigh. I would assume a two-way guy, as he's listed in the pitchers section of the Cropdusters lineup. Ahern, however, pops this one up. Deep fly ball. Houghton Henley makes the grab on the warning track. Gave himself some pause. Looked like for a second he was going to turn his back to me and watch it go over the fence or play it off the wall, but able to starfish himself against the fence as he makes the grab. 99 off the bat of Ahern, 346. Not far enough here at Criswell Automotive. Wouldn't have been far enough at First Responder Field either in Olney. This one put on the ground, ranging over Hentz, throws over, and makes the throw in time. There's the silky smooth mitt of Cade Hentz that I was reminiscing about from last year, and that puts away the Cropdusters 3 up, 3 down on 3 pitches, I believe. And that ends the top of the second inning. We'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. 3 outs on 4 pitches for Logan Wiley as he settled in that second inning. And now it'll be Magnus Krieger to lead things off for Gaithersburg in the bottom of the second. First pitch to Krieger is called strike 1. Second pitch misses low on Krieger. Krieger in the last 7 days with an on-base percentage of .429, however, hasn't gotten a hit in the last week. 1-1. Tips this back into the fence. He's down 1-2. Krieger has appeared in now 3 games when you include the resumed game from earlier, and has 3 walks in those games. Left low, check swing. Say he didn't go. 2-2. The check swing has been awfully contentious this summer, a lot more than in years past. Two to Krieger. Called strike 3 at 83, and it's the first punch out for Gabe Beschloss. Michael Cantiliano up now, going from one Seton Hall Pirate to another. And the pitch coming from a East Carolina Pirate is called ball 1. One out. Cantiliano stepped out on that one. But it's ball 2 outside at 90. 2-0 count. That one is able to find the zone at 90, 2-1. Beschloss continues to get to 90 and 91 on 3 out of his 4 pitches. 2-1. Swing and a miss from Cantiliano. Cantiliano, interesting swing. He kind of slides his front foot back a little bit and then goes around. He's done that a couple times, and it's worked out for him with some hits, but they're swinging and missing. 2-2 to number 2. Full count now. Payoff pitch to Michael Cantiliano. Inside, ball 4. Cantiliano had to get out of the way. And that brings up Cade Hentz for his first at-bat in his second summer with Gaithersburg. Trying to match his college teammate, Cade Walter, in center field, who singled his first time up. Hentz lines this one foul. 88 middle. Great pitch to hit and just a tad bit late. Didn't get an exit speed on that one, but certainly left the bat faster than it came in. 0-1 to Hentz. Called strike 2, clips that low outside corner. Cantiliano on first with a healthy lead. Step off and throw over. No tag applied by Ahern. Never mind, another pickoff. Ahern having to get further off first base for that throw. So 2 straight pickoffs for Beschloss on the mound. Cantiliano not taking that big of a lead, so maybe Beschloss doesn't want to violate the pitch clock. Delivers now, grounded over to first base. Ahern steps on first. No throw down to second. And there's 2 gone, but Cantiliano moves into scoring position for Freddie Diaz. Diaz went 2 for 3 last night, but was stranded on third critically for Gaithersburg. First pitch to Diaz left low. Or not last night, excuse me. Yesterday was a well-deserved day off for Gaithersburg, but 2 nights ago on Monday night, as the Giants fell 6-4 to the Aces. 1-0 clips belt high. 1-1. Hoping to see Diaz have his bat heat up, coming off a nice game for him Monday night with Quintiliano on second. 1-1 called strike 2 now. 80 lofted right over the plate. One and two, 2 outs. Beschloss trying to get through 2 unscathed. Misses just outside. Umpire thought about starting the hands, but correct call. 92. Trying to frame it was Carter Ritchie. Not fooling the umpire, and pitch not fooling Freddie Diaz, who now is an even 2-2 count. Swing and a miss by Diaz. Beschloss with his second punch-out of the inning and second punch-out of his start. And we're through 2 here in Gaithersburg. The score still 0-0 on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. 0-0 as we enter the top of the third. Logan Wiley coming off the top of the second where he got 3 outs on just 4 pitches as he faces the bottom of the order for Olney Coy Swanson, who replaced Andrew Kell in the last game. First pitch to Swanson left up high. 1-0. Swanson, a returner to the Cropdusters team from a year ago. 1-0 to Swanson, who hits this one into right field. That falls in front of Ruiz Weiss. And the second hit for the Cropdusters today is Coy Swanson. Left the bat at 98. Solid contact for Swanson to just line that one into right field. And that brings up the top of the order now. Cade Walter with the other hit for Olney this game. Step off and a throw over. No tag applied by Rudisil. First pitch to Walter. Flown out. Henley calls it. No tag from Swanson. And the tough out of Cade Walter is retired. As I mentioned, Walter coming into today batting .714 in the last week. Obviously seeing that go down there as he flies out to center. Check swing by Zampella, but left it alone at 70 for ball 1. Zampella, the rising senior at East Stroudsburg, pitches left out. Now 2-0. Beschloss went over to the trainer here in Gaithersburg, got some attention, and now makes his way back to his own dugout. Grounded over and foul. Would have been a tough play for Diaz to try and keep that in the infield to start and maybe even try and get an out, but it goes foul before reaching the third base bag, and now 2-1 the count to Walker Zampella. Runner takes off, bounces in, Hughes throws it down, and no tag applied by Cantiliano. Didn't really have it in his glove. 3-1 the count. And another runner in scoring position for the Cropdusters. It's Coy Swanson. They had 2 in the first inning, unable to plate any of them. Cade Walter and Carter Ritchie, that was, both stranded on third and second. Now 3-1 to Walker Zampella. And make that a full count with called strike 2. Full count, 1 out. This one hit hard into left field. Backtracking is Powell, and he's going to watch this go off the scoreboard. A 2-run home run for Walker Zampella. And the first lead of the game goes to the Cropdusters. It's 2-0. Wiley hung the slider at 72. And that ball was crushed right over to the scoreboard. And it made a loud clang to make it 2-0 Olney. Wiley bounces back with a called strike 1 on Carter Ritchie. Sorry, did not have the exit velo or distance on that Walker Zampella home run. Was not picked up by the track man. 0-1 skips in. Now 1-1 to Carter Ritchie. Swing and a miss by Ritchie. He's down 1-2. Wiley trying to bounce back. Again, had an amazing inning in the top of the second where he got 3 outs on 4 pitches, but has struggled here. 1-2. And that hits Ritchie and then goes into the mask of Hughes, who's a little shaken up. Carter Ritchie will now go to first on that hit by pitch. And that brings up Will Henson now for Olney. Carter Ritchie stole a base in the first inning, but then was stranded on second. There was no throw from Colin Hughes on that attempt, on that steal attempt. Now a back pick. Tag not applied by Rudisil. Swiped it over, but not in time. 1-0 as that first pitch was called ball 1 on Henson. This one hit hard to Diaz, who's going to try and turn the double play. Gets the out at second. Throw to first. Not in time. Just barely. Little high of a throw from Diaz, so a tough stretch for Cantiliano, who was still able to deliver an accurate throw, but just half a stride away from completing the double play. Henson replaces Ritchie on first to bring up Rowan Klein. First pitch to Klein in there for strike 1. Oh, 0-1 to the DH for the Cropdusters. Grounded over to Rudisil. Fields it off the one hop to touch first. And that'll end the top of the third. Cropdusters able to get 2 thanks to a 2-run home run from Walker Zampella. And we'll head to the bottom of the third as now Gaithersburg trying to respond to an early Cropdusters lead. Don't go anywhere on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network as we go to the bottom of the third. Cropdusters getting 2 runs in the top of the third, courtesy of a 2-run home run from Walker Zampella. Gabe Beschloss back on the mound for Olney, as the top of the order for Gaithersburg tries to respond. First pitch to Nate Houghton Henley misses outside 1-0. Henley grounded out to the second baseman Zampella himself back in the top or bottom of the first, 1-0 popped up. Zampella calling for it in foul ground. Can't make the grab in foul territory. So Henley given a gift there as Zampella seemingly overran that fly ball. Count is 1-1 as someone from the Giants dugout shouts, "Be the ball," at Henley. Trying to encourage the future Terrapin. 1-1. Looped outside at 78. 2-1 the count. There is action in the Giants bullpen. 2-1. This one hit hard into right field, and that's right into the glove of Swanson. And I'm not sure if the mic could pick that up, but as Henley was running to first, you could hear him say, exclaim that he was robbed there. I mean, just some frustration as what more does he have to do, leaving the bat at 98. Squaring to bunt, pulling it back is Weiss, and it's 1-0. So yeah, left the bat at 98, traveled far, but Swanson perfectly positioned in right field. That bunt almost catches Weiss by the face. And now we have a conference from the umpires. Weiss thought that hit him on the hands, and the umpires not agreeing here. It was a bunt attempt by Weiss. It was up by his face as he was squared to bunt, so didn't have his head turned. And it is a called strike and a foul ball on Weiss. 1-1 the count from Gabe Beschloss. That one misses upstairs 2-1. Beschloss saying if that hit Weiss, then he probably would have been on the turf, as that one was very close to Weiss's face. 2-1 misses out, 3-1. Weiss trying to work a walk here. 3-1. Swing and a miss upstairs at 90, and a full count for Weiss. Full count pitch. Fouled off by Weiss, able to stay alive. Caught up enough to the 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Beschloss. Full count. This one hit hard into deep center field. Backtracking is Walter. It's going off the fence. Weiss will take second. He'll hold up there. The throw gets all the way to third. And it's a stand-up double for Ruiz Weiss. That's Weiss's 11th hit of the year and 4th double this summer for Gaithersburg. We've seen him square to bunt, try and play the small ball as he did early in that at bat, but able to let it fly. 96 off the bat, going 354. That one gets through the legs of Richie, and Ruiz Weiss with his speed will easily swipe third base on that passed ball. First pitch to Brady Powell. Obviously getting through the legs of Richie. It's 1-0. Misses outside, 2-0. And had the wall not been 350, pretty much dead center, Ruiz Weiss may have been going home on that passed ball. It could have been a triple on the ball he put into play. 2-1 catches the inside. 2-1 the count now. Ruiz Weiss on third. 2-1. Fouled off into the netting. And that evens the count on Brady Powell, 2-2. Powell is able to work a 2-out walk his last time up in the bottom of the first, and then was stranded on second base at the end of that inning. 2-2. Fouled off again by Powell, able to stay alive there. Carter Ritchie asking for his former teammate Colin Hughes to flip that to him, which he does before heading back to the on-deck circle. 2-2. This one hit hard into left field. Is it going to hang up? Yes, it is. Weiss tags. The throw home, not in time. And that halves the Cropdusters' lead. Brady Powell with a sac fly. Critical situational hitting from Brady Powell to drive in Ruiz Weiss, not letting him get stranded on third. As we've seen in the past couple Giants games, that always comes back to bite Gaithersburg. First pitch to Colin Hughes called strike one. Hughes had a rocket of a single back in the bottom of the first. It's now a one-run game. This one hit hard and foul immediately. 76 on the inside. Caught the barrel of Hughes's new bat a little early. Pink and black for Colin Hughes. I like the new look. And we'll see if it continues working. 0-2. Misses outside 1-2. Beschloss trying to get through this inning, giving up just the lone run. 1-2 is left high by Hughes, able to keep his at-bat alive here. Bryce Rudisil waits in the on-deck circle. 2-2, 2 outs. In the bottom of the third. Left outside, full count now to Colin Hughes. Hughes batting at .319 thus far for Gaithersburg. Full count pitch. Swing and a miss by Colin Hughes. And that will end the third inning. Ruiz Weiss punches a double into center field and then comes around to score on a sac fly by Brady Powell to answer half of the 2-run home run from Walker Zampella in the top half of the third. It's now 2-1 Olney heading to the fourth inning here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Leo Simpson out on the mound for Gaithersburg. Coming in relief of Logan Wiley, who wraps up his first appearance and first start as a Giant. 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, and 2 strikeouts. Leo Simpson now on the mound, making his 8th appearance of the season for Gaithersburg. 8 innings pitched for the Towson Tiger. First pitch is fouled off and into the bullpen where Simpson just came from by Jaden Knight, as Zach White just came up to give me a little fist bump and then go on his way. 0-1. Misses just high. Had that one continued to sink about another couple inches, definitely would have been strike 2. Just missed above the belt on Knight. 1-1 from Simpson. Check swing. And the home plate umpire says he did himself. 1-2. The count now to Jaden Knight. Zach White, who, again, as I just mentioned, came up to give me a little fist bump. Had a heck of a long weekend. Certainly enjoyed yesterday's day off. 1-2, pounded into the fence by the Giants' dugout by Knight. Count remains 1-2. That pitch getting up to 90. So you can see the velocity from Simpson is definitely there. He's reined in the control. Didn't start there this season, but has certainly found it. And of course, as I say that, he hits Jaden Knight on the forearm at 90. That is definitely not going to feel good for Jaden Knight. 90 on the forearm. Not much muscle there for most humans to pad that one. So now Knight gets some attention from the trainer here in Gaithersburg. Broadcaster's jinx on that one. I apologize, talking about Leo Simpson's control and how it's improved. And the very next pitch hits Jaden Knight. He appears to be okay. Still waiting for the trainer to step away, and Jaden Knight is alright and will remain in this game for the Cropdusters. And now he stands on first. That'll bring up Caden Ahern. Ahern flew out to center last time up. Now is a runner on base. First pitch to Ahern called strike one. Knight going to need to ice that down immediately. 0-1. Inside and low. 1-1 the count. Knight takes off, inside throw down, the tag, not in time. Really nice pop from Colin Hughes, but I think it was just a better jump there by Jaden Knight. And now it is 2-1 to Ahern as Colin Hughes calls time to speak with Simpson. So a stolen base for Jaden Knight. Two and one the count now. Runner in scoring position for Olney. Trying to get back to that 2-run lead they had. Scoring the bunt now is Ahern. He does get it down. Simpson, bare hand toss over in time. And that gets the first out of the inning while moving the runner over, Jaden Knight, to third. That brings up Angelio Santiago Cruz. Didn't really have an opportunity to say his name last at bat when he grounded out on the first pitch to Cade Hentz. First pitch finds the zone on Santiago Cruz, the third baseman here in this one for Olney, and the rising sophomore at Richmond. 0-1, hit hard into right field. Weiss tracking it, makes the grab, and the 2-run lead is restored for Olney as Knight crosses home plate. It's 3-1. Situational hitting becoming a plus here for Olney. Able to move the runner over was Caden Ahern, and then a sac fly for Santiago Cruz to make it 3-1. That brings up Coy Swanson. First pitch to Swanson called strike one at 79. pretty much right down the heart of the plate for Swanson, who singled in his first at-bat and then came around to score on the Zampella 2-run home run. Second pitch misses high and outside. 1-1, 2 outs for Leo Simpson. That pitch missed even further than the previous ball. It's now 2-1. 2-1's popped up. Diaz calls for it, stays in the corner of the infield, and makes the grab to end the top of the fourth. Cropdusters reinstate their 2-run lead after a sac fly by Antigello Santiago Cruz, which scores Jaden Knight. So Leo Simpson gives up 1 run, but doesn't give up a hit, and will step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. So after the Giants put in a reliever of their own, the Cropdusters will do the same. It's number 10, Matt Russell, the Fulton, Maryland native, and the incoming freshman at Towson, now on the mound for the Cropdusters. Russell making his 4th appearance, 7 2/3 innings pitched thus far. First pitch to Bryce Rudisil, swing and a miss at 78. Interesting starting off with the off speed, but does get Rudisil to go around, and he is up 0-1. This one fouled off by Rudisil, who is now quickly down 0-2. Russell has given up 4 hits, 6 runs, 3 of them earned, and then 6 walks to 9 strikeouts. 0-2. Fouled up and into the netting by Rudisil. He stays alive here. Once again, Gaithersburg finding themselves back where they were an inning ago, down 2. They did manage to plate Ruiz Weiss last inning after a stand-up double. 0-2 bounces in. 1-2 the count now. One two is fouled off a lot harder this time by Rudisil, who gives Magnus Krieger in the on-deck circle a bit of a jump. Now the 6th pitch of this at-bat between Russell and Rudisil. 1-2. Hit hard over to Zampella at second. who throws in time to Ahern and records the first out. Brings up Magnus Krieger, the DH for Gaithersburg this evening. Krieger struck out looking to be the first out in the bottom of the second. First pitch to Krieger, swing and a miss. Apologies, TrackMan didn't pick that up, but by the looks of it, it's Russell starting off another batter with the off speed, likely at 78 or about there. 0-1 finds the zone, 0-2. There's the off speed again, locating the same spot pretty much for Matt Russell. 0-2 again. Swing and a miss. Krieger sees 2 straight strikes and swings on the third. And Matt Russell has quickly carved up his first 2 batters. Now, Michael Cantiliano walked back in the second. Watches ball 1. Russell again with that off speed. Cantiliano just watching his teammates' 2 previous swing on the first one and miss. Just like that, actually. This one at 80 evens up the count at 1-1. One. Breaks back over the inside at 87. And it's 1-2 to Cantiliano. Russell looking for back-to-back strikeouts. 1-2. Swing and a miss from Cantiliano. An amazing inning from Matt Russell. 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts. And we'll quickly go to the top of the 5th inning here from Criswell Automotive Field on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis. Top of the 5th, we are in Gaithersburg. Once again, I'm doing this broadcast by myself, so trying to get everything under control, as is Leo Simpson in his second inning of work. He does miss that first pitch. Simpson allowing a run in his first inning of work. Didn't allow a hit, however. 1-0 finds the zone on Cade Walter, the top of the Olney Cropdusters lineup. There was a hit by pitch of Jaden Knight, a steal, and then 2 sacrifice hits that plated Knight and gave the Cropdusters the 3-1 lead. Swinging and missing there was Cade Walter. He's down 1-2. Simpson trying to find his first punch out of this outing. 1-2. Looped outside. Simpson did not like how he threw that pitch. Apologies if the mic picked that up. 2-2 now. Simpson and Walter. A grunt from Simpson and a foul by Walter up into the netting. 2-2 the count remains. Simpson with 7 strikeouts this summer, eyeing an 8th here. 2-2 on Cade Walter. Missed outside, full count it goes. Another grunt from Simpson, who wants this almost as badly as Cade Walter, if not more. Simpson has just continued his improvement. Full count, just misses high. And it's the second free pass issued by Simpson in this outing. The third total free pass, 4th if you include the error in the first inning. 2 hit by pitches and 1 walk by the Giants pitching staff so far this game. Home run hitter Walker Zampella up at bat, watches ball 1. Without Zampella, it's a 1-1 ball game at the moment. Pickoff attempt. The throw is very, very fast, but not really that big of a lead for Walter. Doesn't even make it past the cutout of the infield grass. Now he goes. No secondary. Throw down by Hughes is offline. And Cade Walter is into second base. Showing signs of last inning. Base runner gets on via free pass and then quickly steals second. We'll see if Cropdusters turn to the small ball here. 2-0 misses. Makes Hughes do a little spin around. 3-0 the count now. With Cade Walter on second. Called strike 1 inside. Zampella was about to toss the bat. He didn't though, so my colleague Colin Smith, if you're listening, the bat did not leave Zampella's hands. 3-1. This one hit hard into center field. Henley racing in is going to watch it drop. Henley will throw it in to Hentz. And it's runners on the corners for Olney. No outs here in the top of the 4th. A big spot. Manager TJ Brockway is going to come out and have a word or make a change. Simpson got through the first inning, just giving up the hit by pitch. That one leaving the bat at 78 and just dropping in before Henley could make the grab, only going 257 off the bat of Zampella. TJ Brockway hasn't taken the baseball from Simpson yet. There is action in the Giants bullpen, and Simpson will remain in this game. Zampella goes to talk to head coach Adam Leader, and I always find it funny how the home umpires look up at me up top here when telling the scorekeepers how many mound visits each team has. I'm not the one that does that. Our scorekeepers are placed nicely down the shallow part of the first base line. Zampella takes off. Throw down from Hughes. Not there in time. So 2 runners in scoring position. Eliminates the double play. It was strike 1 called on Carter Ritchie. Oh, 1 the count. 2 runners in scoring position. Hit right back up the middle and through the infield. Zampella around third. He will score. With the infield playing in, Ritchie makes him pay and makes it 5-1 Cropdusters. That brings up Will Henson, 0 for 2 in this game. Grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out his first 2 times up. Ritchie on first. Still no outs here in the top of the 5th. Inside, nearly clipped Henson. One 0. Fouled off and into the Gaithersburg bullpen. Trying to see who's warming up. The player who went and got that ball was number 40, Jacob Goldman. Not sure if it's Goldman who will be coming in, however. 1-1, now 2-1 to Henson. Ritchie still on first base. A 2 RBI single from Ritchie as the infield was playing in for Gaithersburg. Ritchie takes off here. 2-1 skips in, and the throw from Hughes had no chance. 3-1. Hughes trying to throw out his former teammate. Had a tough pitch to try and get Ritchie stealing. Ritchie's second stolen base of the night. 3-1. Hit hard and into left field. Ritchie will hold at third. Powell throws it into Diaz. And Henson will stand on first. And now TJ Brockway will come back out. And this appears to be day done for Leo Simpson. A walk and then 3 straight singles by the Cropdusters will end Simpson's outing. Just gets through the 1 inning that he did in the top of the 4th. And we will step away while new arm for Gaithersburg warms up. It appears it is number 40, Jacob Goldman. The Bethesda, Maryland native will warm up while we step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. And we talked about how the Giants needed to make it to the month of July to get some bullpen help, and part of that help has been Jacob Goldman, making his second appearance now for Gaithersburg. Has pitched one inning, giving up one hit and getting a strikeout. Runner goes, Hughes, no throw, down, called strike one. So Goldman comes in damage control situation here. 2 runs already plated for Olney, and now 2 more in scoring position in the top of the 5th. 0-1. Skips in the glove of Hughes, 1-1. Rowan Klein, 0 for 2 in this one. 1-1. Swing and a miss from Klein. He's down 1-2. Goldman trying to find his second punch out of the summer and the first out of this inning. Can he do it here on Klein? 1-2 from Jacob Goldman. Off speed, can't come back over the plate in time. Count even at 2-2. Two-two pitch. Klein thought about it, but that pitch tailed all the way into the other's batter's box. Full count between Goldman and Klein. Ritchie on third, Henson on second. Full count pitch. Bounces in. Ritchie stays at third, and it's bases loaded with no outs for Jaden Knight. Knight was hit by a pitch just last inning, and then was the lone run in the top of the 4th. Came around via small ball, but now bases loaded, no outs, trying to maybe not go the small ball route. Big opportunity for Knight, but he watches strike one. Corners for Gaithersburg playing in. Rudisil and Diaz on the grass. 0-1. Misses upstairs. Hughes thought about a back pick on his former teammate. It's 1-1. Ritchie giving a little smile about it. One from Goldman. Just inside on Knight. 2-1. Nowhere to put Knight, so you can't miss in the same spots you just did if you're Jacob Goldman. Have to rein it in here. 2-1. Popped up in the infield. Rudisil calls for it, makes the grab. And that's exactly what you need to do. An unproductive out for Jaden Knight. Bases remain loaded, but it's the first out here in the top of the 5th. Brings up Caden Ahern. Sacrifice bunt his last time up to advance Knight, who's back in the dugout, but advance Knight over to third. Now he has the bases loaded. Flew out to center his first time up. Off speed at 72, misses outside, 1-0. One-0 pitch. Just misses outside. Colin Hughes tried to frame it up. 2-0 the count to Ahern. Pitch from Goldman. Fouled back into the netting. Goldman probably wishes that Ahern popped that one up like Jaden Knight just did. But it goes back into the netting. It's now a 2-1 count for Goldman to work. Called strike 2 at 73. Really nice placement from Goldman, who shakes his head as he tries to get into a groove here. Klein on first, Henson on second, Ritchie on third. 2-2. Misses outside. Hughes able to flag that one down. Keeps it from getting to the backstop. Full count, 1 out. Nowhere to put Ahern. Pivotal pitch here in this game. Trying to stop the bleeding. Full count pitch from Goldman. Tipped back by Ahern. Unfortunately, it did not end up in the glove of Hughes. But Ahern stays alive. Full count pitch. Yet again. Just the one lone out here in the top of the 5th. Fouled again by Ahern, who continues to stay alive in this at-bat. The 8th pitch of this at-bat, full count, 1 out. Flied out to left. Powell under it. Tagging is Ritchie. The throw in, no relay throw. So a 6th run, courtesy of a sac fly from Ahern, makes it 6-1. But now third base is unoccupied. And there's 2 gone. Now, Angelo Santiago Cruz back up at bat. Still 1 runner in scoring position for Olney. Will Henson on second. First pitch called strike 1, delayed strike 1 call. But nonetheless, Jacob Goldman will take it. Goldman spent his spring at East Florida State, the junior college. 0-1. Henson dancing around on second. Pitch delivered. Breaks back over the plate at 73. 0-2 now the count. Goldman 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. Oh, 2 outs from Goldman. Grounded over to Diaz, who fields it and will just step on third for the 3rd and final out. It's now 4 unanswered runs for Olney. And the Giants will try and change my statement to at least answer a 3 spot in the top of the 5th and 1 in the top of the 4th. For the Cropdusters, it's now 6-1. We're halfway through this ball game from Criswell Automotive Field, and I hope you'll stay with me on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Halfway through this game, still a lot of time for Gaithersburg to try and answer Olney, who finds themselves up 6-1 after 3 in the top of the 5th. First up to respond is Cade Hentz. First pitch to Hentz, called strike 1, 77 low. Hentz, again returning to this Giants organization, was here in Gaithersburg last summer. 0-1. Skips over the glove of Richie. No one on the base paths to advance on that one. 1-1. Matt Russell back out on the mound for the Cropdusters. It was 3 up, 3 down for Russell last inning. Hentz grounds this one over to third, snow-coned by Cruz, and the throw over in time. Nearly found its way through the hole and into left field, but just gets into the glove of Santiago Cruz, and he's able to throw across the diamond for out number 1. Freddie Diaz now up at bat. First pitch to Diaz, missed way outside. 1-0. Put on the ground. Over to Henson at short. His throw makes Ahern stretch, but not too far. And quick 2 outs for Gaithersburg. And it's also been 5 up, 5 down for Matt Russell on the mound. That'll bring up the top of the order in Nate Houghton-Henley, who's 0 for 2 in this game, yet to reach base. First pitch skips in. Nice pick by Richie. "1-0, put on the ground, in the glove of Cruz again. Spin move, airmails the throw. Henley will get second base as that one goes out of play. So Cruz rushed the throw a little bit. Maybe the momentum got the best of him there, as he appeared to, was like he was going to make the play in time, but just like that, Houghton-Henley now on second. First pitch to Weiss. He scores the bunt, pops it up, and it gets over the third base line and touched foul. Once again, Ruiz Weiss scoring the bunt, and the pitch coming up and in on Weiss. Weiss did that in the last at-bat and then eventually turned it into a stand-up double when he punched one into straightaway center. Would then get to third on a pass ball and then come around to score on a Brady Powell sac fly. The lone run of the game. In hits Weiss, and he's aboard for the second time this game. That brings up Brady Powell. So after going 5 up, 5 down, Matt Russell has an error work against him on Santiago Cruz at third, and then hits Ruiz Weiss to bring up Brady Powell. First pitch to Powell, grounded to Cruz, who will throw over and in time to end the bottom of the 5th. Gaithersburg creates some chaos towards the end of the inning, but unable to get anything substantial, and we'll head to the 6th inning now. The score is still 6-1 Olney here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis as we start the sixth inning. Excuse me. It's 6-1 Cropdusters here from Criswell Automotive Field. Jacob Goldman on the mound to face Coy Swanson to start this sixth inning. First pitch to Swanson has him stand up out of his stance, and it's ball one. One out. Called strike one on the outside part of the plate. So after the torrential downpours experienced across the DMV yesterday, today was a really nice day. Didn't get too hot in my eyes. Did reach close to 90 as Jacob Goldman is trying to, but that one 81 skips in for 2 balls and a strike on Coy Swanson. 2-1. Misses belt high. Colin Hughes freezes it there. Kind of showing the umpire that one maybe should have been called strike 2, but missed above the zone on the TrackMan 2D zone. 3-1. Looped in, and Swanson swings the bat over to his dugout. Leadoff walk for Swanson brings up the top of the order in Cade Walter. Walter, his 4th plate appearance in this game, walked, flew out to center, and then singled his first time up. Has come around to score twice. This one he hits hard and around the body of Coy Swanson. Just bent around him at 94. Gave Swanson a bit of a scare there. As now 2 base runners on, leaving the bat at 94. Punching it right through the infield. Line drive around his own teammate. First pitch to Zampella is called strike 1, and actually that happened a couple nights ago to Gaithersburg. Bryce Rudisil, the first baseman, had a single go off the bat at 98, I believe, and it hit right off of Andrew Holub, who tried to jump over it, or at least get one leg over the line drive. 0-1 misses high at 85, 1-1, and in that game, I believe it was the 2-1 loss to the Grays, the second leg of that Sunday doubleheader. That became the killer for Gaithersburg, as that would have put 2 on, none out. This one, Zampella gives another ride into the same spot. Powell will watch it go again. Walker Zampella has done it twice here in Gaithersburg tonight. A 2-run home run, and he outdoes himself with a 3-run home run now to make it 9-1 Cropdusters. That one we have the distance for. 97 off the bat, 368. And for the second time tonight, Walker Zampella has gone yard and made Brady Powell do the anxious watch. Nothing you can do as the left fielder, as another deep fly ball goes over your head. Strike 1 is called on Carter Ritchie. So 5 RBIs now for Walker Zampella tonight. 3 runs scored. This one popped up. Cantiliano calls it immediately and gets out number 1. But already in this game, Zampella is 3 for 4. 3 runs scored, 5 RBIs. and a stolen base to tack that on as well for the rising senior at East Stroudsburg. First pitch to Henson has him ducking. Called ball at 77. One out. Now misses high. 2-0 the count. More action in the Gaithersburg bullpen. 2-0 from Jacob Goldman. Gets strike one on Henson. Two one. Called strike two. That one a lot more over the plate than the previous pitch to even the count. 2-2. That pitch misses upstairs. Full count. Goldman came in the top of the fifth inning to face Rowan Klein with the bases with two men on. Will Henson, one of them. This one fouled off. Full count it remains. Has since recorded 4 outs, with the pop out of Carter Ritchie moments ago, but the 3-run blast from Walker Zampella, his second home run of this game, has blown it open. This one hit hard into left field. That's going to stay fair. And now on his way to second is Henson, and he will stay there with a stand-up double. Jacob Goldman was hoping that one would keep tailing foul, but then ended up going right into the corner, and Brady Powell doing his best to get to that one as quickly as possible. And now Vinny Capozza will come out to make the change. So a stand-up double by Will Henson, and moments before that, Walker Zampella with a 3-run home run has made it 9-1, runner on second and just 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Another arm will come in for Gaithersburg when we come back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Alex Angelidis on the mound for the Giants now. As Will Henson, his stand-up double was enough to chase Jacob Goldman out of this game. And now Henson stands on second. Rowan Klein in the batter's box now. First pitch from Angelidis gets around the umpire, but not a good read by Henson, who just stays at second. Now 1-0 count to Rowan Klein. 0 for 2 in this game. He hits this one hard into right field. Ruiz Weiss makes the grab, tagging is Henson, and he gets to third, but there's 2 outs. And a pinch hitter now steps up for Olney. Number 13, Luke Kiefer, who took over for Aiden Fry in the first game tonight. Kiefer, the rising sophomore at UMD, will now step up, has Henson on third. Called strike one on Kiefer. That one skips in from the other batter's box. Now it's 1-1. One popped up. Ranging under it is Powell, who calls for it and makes the grab. And that ends this top of the 6th inning. But Walker Zampella has made his presence known here in Gaithersburg. His second home run of this game has made it 9-1 Cropdusters as we go to the bottom of the 6th here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. The Giants have their work cut out for them if they want to come back in this one. As we enter the bottom of the 6th inning, Colin Hughes is up first for Gaithersburg. Hughes 1 for 2, single and a strikeout, watches ball 1 out of the hand of Matt Russell. Alex Angelidis getting out of a jam in the top of the 6th, stranding Will Henson on third, 1-0. Skips in 2-0. So all while the Cropdusters have used 2 pitchers, including Matt Russell, who continues a great night for him. Gaithersburg now on their 4th pitcher with Angelidis. 2-0 left down, 3-0 now to Hughes. Russell needing to find the zone here. And he doesn't. It's a 4-pitch leadoff walk for Colin Hughes. Tosses his bat aside to give way to Bryce Rudisill. Rudisill 0 for 2 in this game. However, coming into today, Rudisill has been batting at a .286 clip. That one misses. It's now 5 straight balls to start this inning for Matt Russell. Jamming Rudisill again. Rudisill has been jammed in every single one of his at-bats, similar to that pitch. 1-1 the count now. The first at-bat, however, broke Rudisill's bat. This one he hits right back up the middle and through into center field. Rudisill with a single to get Colin Hughes on second base with no outs. That brings up Magnus Krieger. Krieger has struck out twice in this game. Oh for 2 needs to find a way on here. Colin Hughes on second, Rudisill on first. Swing and a miss by Krieger. It's now an 0-1 count to Krieger. Swing and a miss by Krieger again. He's down 0-2. Russell trying to punch out Krieger 3 times in this game. Has him down 0-2. Holding and keeping his at-bat alive is Krieger. Count goes to 1-2. One, two. Swing and a miss by Krieger. And now Carter Ritchie is exchanging words with Colin Hughes, as Colin Hughes might be picking up on the pitches that Russell is throwing. Smiles from Ritchie. Ritchie and Hughes, again, former teammates. Ritchie will stay at VCU. Hughes going to find a new home for next season. But Hughes may have been looking at a few too many signs for Ritchie's liking. First pitch gets away. It's called strike one. Colin Hughes, a late read on that one, elects to stay. No pitch com here for Russell and Ritchie. 0-1. Skips inside, didn't hit Quintiliano somehow, but both runners advance on that wild pitch. 2 runners in scoring position for Michael Quintiliano. 0 for 1, walked and struck out in this game thus far. 1-1 misses outside. 2-1 to number 2. Quintiliano has found his way to get RBIs. Can he get one here? Inside, called strike 2. Did clip that inside part of the plate. Quintiliano now has an even 2-2 count. skipped in, full count. Richie blocking that one down nicely in front of him, keeping his former teammate on third. Now a full count to Michael Quintiliano. Popped up and out of play by Quintiliano. At bat stays alive here. Tipped back into the glove of Richie. And Quintiliano is retired for the second out tonight. Now Cade Hentz will step up. First pitch to Hentz. Inside ball one. One 0 misses low, 2-0. Zach White playing a bit of catch with manager TJ Brockway's son. White enjoying an off day. Almost came in the previous game. 2-0 bounces in, check swing. They say he didn't. 3-0. White would have entered into the game if we had played the bottom of the ninth earlier. 3-0. Called strike one because Colin Hughes represented the tying run of the previous game. When he got on first, he was pinch ran for Freddie Diaz. Diaz only got to second. 3-1. This one hit, busted bat, gets around Rudisil. Throw over in time by Henson. And that retires the Giants in the bottom of the sixth, stranding two in scoring position. And the score remains 9-1 as Matt Russell has gotten through three, giving up no runs. We'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. 3 more innings to go, and we don't have a noise or light ordinance curfew to deal with as we do in Olney, so these last 3 innings will be played tonight. And we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Alex Angelidis back out on the mound for the Giants. Was able to get Gaithersburg out of the sixth inning and stopping the bleeding there. Got the last 2 outs of Klein and Knight. First pitch to Ahern, grounded over. Quintiliano gets under his glove. And that most certainly will be scored an error on Michael Quintiliano. 72 rolled Ahern right over. and slowed down in the grass. Gets around the glove of Cantiliano. Ahern is aboard for the first time tonight. Fouled right back into the fence and then right off the fence by Santiago Cruz. Cruz grounding into a fielder's choice that ended the 5th inning. Another 3 spot for Cropdusters. Fouls this one off into the netting this time. 0-2. Oh, 2. Put on the ground, hence ranging over, can't make the play. And a single for Cruz gets through the infield. The 10th hit for Olney in this game, bringing up Coy Swanson. So an error leads to 2 runners and no outs here for Angelides. First pitch to Angelides, called strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch, delivered high. 1-1 the count now. And you don't want the inning to spiral again as it has the last 2 innings. Back-to-back 3 spots for Olney. Grounded over to Rudisill. Hot shot. Gets over to second. Hence, doesn't get a throw. And now a back pick over to third. Ahern back into third safely. So Rudisill able to handle the 97-mile-an-hour ground ball line drive hit his way. Gets the out at second. Tried to get Hence to turn 2, but Hence eating the throw to first on Coy Swanson. So now Ahern on third, Swanson on first. Pitch to Cade Walter, low for ball 1. Pick off over on first. There was time called about something, I think, on third. Maybe Ahern did something. Not quite sure. Couldn't really see it. Either way, 1-0 on Cade Walter. Ball 2 misses outside. Two and 0. Grounded, hit basically everyone around home plate. May have gotten a piece of Walter, but it certainly got a piece of Hughes and the home plate umpire as they check in on each other. Both are all right, and we're ready to get back underway. 2-1 after that foul ball. Swanson still on first. Ahern still on third. Misses upstairs. Hughes able to bring that one down. Three-one count from Angelides. Popped up. Looking around for it is Hughes. Rudisill calls him off. Makes the grab in foul territory. Flopping onto his back. Losing his hat and glasses on the way down, but gets the second out of the inning. Hughes says he was about to call it, but Rudisill called him off and made that play, an acrobatic catch for out number 2. That brings up Zampella, who has 2 home runs in this game. He watches ball 1. Zampella, 2-run home run in the 3rd, 3-run home run last inning in the 6th. Pops this one up, however. That's not going to make the left field fence. It'll make the glove of Freddie Diaz for out number 3. Alex Angelidis has some trouble on the base paths with an error and a single, but leaves 2 stranded, and will go to the bottom of the 7th, stretching here at Criswell Automotive Field. The score is still 9-1 Cropdusters. Don't go anywhere on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. A really nice sunset, and we hope that gives way to a really nice comeback here for the Gaithersburg Giants at Criswell Automotive Field. Down 8. They're going to face a familiar face in Dominic Pietto. Pietto, the rising senior at Tulane, has technically pitched in 2 games today, as he was the middle reliever of the previous game that was resumed here at 5 o'clock. He'll face Freddie Diaz to start. First pitch to Diaz is called strike 1. I always love when something like that happens. So technically Pietto has relieved 2 games today, with the first one finishing up and him not throwing a pitch there. He does throw this pitch way too high, and it's 1-1. One to Diaz. Finds strike 2, does Pietto. So Pietto pitched 2 2/3, giving up 8 runs, 4 of them earned on 6 hits. Diaz chops this one over to Cruz. Snow-coned again, the throw over, and it's in time. Ahern sticking his foot right back down on the bag, and that retires Freddie Diaz. That brings up Nate Houghton-Henley for his 4th at-bat today. Reached on an error by Cruz his last time up. called strike one on Henley. Henley would then reach second and would be unable to score for Gaithersburg after that. 0-1. Kind of noodled his bat around, Henley did, but called strike two either way on the outside part of the plate. 0-2. Skips in for Pietto. Pietto had three strikeouts. No, excuse me, 3 walks. I had it right the first time to 4 strikeouts previously against the Giants. Henley gives this one a ride into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Henley is going to be on his way to second and will hold there. A stand-up double for Nate Houghton. Henley was able to pull his hands in on that baseball and crush it into the left field corner. Just the 4th hit for Gaithersburg this game brings up the other Giant with a double, Brady Ruiz-Weiss, who had that back in the 3rd inning. Weiss, the lone run for Gaithersburg. Scoring to bunt, pulling it back, ball 1. Seems to almost be a checklist for Ruiz-Weiss. Square to bunt, pull it back, watch ball 1. He's up 1-0 now on Dominic Pietto. This one hit hard and into right field now. Just crept in between the foul line and the first base glove. The throw into second is offline, but Weiss elected to stay on first. An RBI single for the Yale Bulldog. And that chip away mentality continues on here as Gaithersburg has gotten to Pietto on back-to-back batters now. That brings up Brady Powell. Reached base via a walk back in the 1st inning and then had the sac fly that scored Weiss in the 3rd. First pitch to Powell called strike 1. Oh, 1. Watches strike 2 now. Both of these a little outside on Brady Powell for his liking, but both of them called strikes. He's down 0-2. Weiss takes off, low throw into second, way late for the speedy Weiss. And he's into second base with a steal. 1-2 the count now on Brady Powell. Trying to get his 2nd RBI of the game with Ruiz-Weiss in scoring position. 1-2. Misses outside. Weiss elects to stay put for now with the righty Powell up. Maybe we'll see Weiss take off on this pitch. Gaithersburg trying to stay aggressive. Down 7 now. 2-2. 1 out from Pietto. Misses over the head of Powell. Full count it goes. Full count, 1 out to Brady Powell. Weiss almost took off. This one popped up into foul territory, tailing out, and it does just get out of play. Brady Powell was hoping that one would keep tailing out, and it did. And Alex Angelides will go grab that baseball. Full count remains. Weiss did a little fake steal attempt on that pitch. Will we get the real thing here? Full count, 1 out. Pietto and Powell do battle here. Swing and a miss by Powell. He's down on strikes. Weiss stays on second to bring up Colin Hughes. Brings up Colin Hughes now. First pitch to Hughes misses outside. One 0. Clips the top part of the zone at 77, evening the count at 1-1. Weiss didn't take off with the righty Powell at bat, and now with the lefty Hughes, it just gives Carter Ritchie more of a throwing lane to get to Cruz, the third baseman. 1-1, step off. No throw over, so that's one disengagement for Pietro. Can't have too many of those, as we've seen in recent days. One. Weiss dances, pitches delivered high. 2-1 the count. Gaithersburg starting to run out of time here. Has 7 outs left to get 7 runs. 2-1, pickoff attempt at second. Tag not applied in time by Henson. Weiss back in there safely. No disengagement counted there with the throw to second, trying to pick off Ruiz Weiss. 2-1. Inside on Hughes, and it did clip the boot of Hughes. So, Colin Hughes is 1 for 2 in this game. A single back in the first, a walk last inning, and now a hit by pitch. So that on-base percentage improves for Colin Hughes. And now that'll bring up Bryce Rudisill with a single his last time up. First pitch to Rudisill called strike 1. 88, lower middle part of the plate. Sure, Rudisill was looking for that pitch again, so he could definitely get a huge chunk of that one. 0-1 from Pietro. Curves down to that back leg of Rudisill and misses inside. 1-1 on the 6-foot lefty. Popped up into shallow left. Knight going over and makes the grab for the third and final out here in the bottom of the 7th. The Giants able to get 1 run courtesy of Brady Ruiz Weiss getting an RBI single, scoring Nate Houghton-Henley, who had himself a stand-up double, into the left field corner. That's all they can muster in the 7th. They do get 1 back and now trail 7-7, and we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Hudson Green on the mound now for Gaithersburg. 6 appearances thus far this season, 6 1/3 innings pitched, giving up 7 hits, 17 runs, only 10 of them earned, 12 walks to 7 strikeouts. First pitch is popped up into right, Weiss under it. And 1 pitch, 1 out for Hudson Green in the top of the 8th. Really nice job by Green. So out of the scorers table where he runs the TrackMan, the Wesleyan University product. He runs the TrackMan here on days he's not pitching. So ran that for most of this game and then headed to the bullpen. And now back on the mound. Got Carter Ritchie out on 1 pitch. Now Will Henson watches ball 1. One 0. Misses low. 2-0. Two and 0. Fouled back. 2-1 the count now. Hudson Green in South County this past week had the slowest put-away pitch that I've seen in the Cal Ripken League. Doesn't matter how slow it is. A put-away pitch is a put-away pitch, and he did get the strikeout on that one. It was 62 in the zone. 2-1 finds the zone at 77, called strike 2. So Green can mix up the velocity here. Has Henson in a 2-2 count. Misses outside, full count. The full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Jammed up Henson. And that gets 2 gone here in the bottom of the 8th. Or top of the 8th, excuse me. Spent the entire first hour and a half here at Criswell Automotive Field referring to the Giants as the away team. And now having this game be a normal home game for Gaithersburg has me all mixed up. But it is 2 gone, and now it's an 0-1 count to Rowan Klein. Klein 0 for 3 with a walk this game. 0-1. Called strike 2, 78. Almost right down the gut for Klein. Green trying to go 3 up, 3 down with back-to-back punch-outs. Can he do it here? 0-2, 2 outs. Called strike 3. Hudson Green, his best inning yet for Gaithersburg as he struts off the mound and goes 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts for the Wesleyan University product. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. The Giants now down 7 with their last 6 outs remaining. Due up for Gaithersburg, Magnus Krieger, Michael Cantiliano, and Cade Hentz. Hope you'll stay with me here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Magnus Krieger steps up to the mound now. Steps up to the plate. Krieger 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, trying to avoid the mystical golden sombrero here. Still Dominic Pietto on the mound for the Cropdusters. Krieger goes around on the first pitch, and he's down 0-1. Called strike 2 low. Krieger down 0-2. Has to find a way to work out of this against Dominic Pietto. Pietto shakes off his catcher twice, now delivers the 0-2. Left upstairs by Krieger, wisely so, 1-2. The 1-2 from Pietto, fouled off. Krieger staying alive here. Pietto gave up 3 base runners last inning. One of them came around to score in Nate Houghton-Henley. 1-2. This one lined and off the second baseman's glove of Zampella. And they'll score that one a hit as it left the bat at 92, and Zampella needed to lay all the way out. So Krieger aboard for the first time tonight. Avoids the golden sombrero, thankfully. And that brings up his college teammate, Michael Contigliano. The Seton Hall Pirate, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk here tonight. First pitch to Contigliano is inside for ball 1. With Krieger on first, grounded over into the gap, ranging over the throw to first, not in time. Contigliano safe with an infield single. Zampella could not make that play, had to go from his double play depth to the farthest reach of the hole, went into the shallow right field grass to field that ground ball, and did not have the time to set his feet and deliver a throw in time. Now Cade Hentz. First pitch to Hentz bounces. Both runners advance. Now 2 runners in scoring position. No outs for Cade Hentz. Base hit could score 2 for Gaithersburg and make this a 5-run game, where it hasn't been since the middle of that 6th inning. (1-0). Misses high. 2-0 on Cade Hentz. Really good eye from the Jacksonville product. If he can place one over the head of his college teammate Cade Walter in center, it would do wonders for his current team, Gaithersburg. 2-0, grounded over to third. Cruz has to throw across the diamond, which he does in time. Runners do not advance. Cruz has had his hands full at third base here tonight. Has 4 putouts and then an error on top of all of that. So, has been pretty consistent for Olney in the hot corner here this evening. First pitch to Freddie Diaz, called strike 1. Diaz would not like to be the next putout of Cruz at third. (0-1). Tipped back into the glove of Richie Diaz is down 0-2. 0-2, 1 out. Cantiliano on second, Krieger on third. Pitch from Pietto, chopped down the third baseline. Krieger is going to score. No throw to first. And Diaz with an RBI infield single. And no outs recorded on that play either. Can't remember the last time I have said quite a sentence. That brings up the top of the order. So a nice RBI single for Freddie Diaz. Gets himself on base and no more outs recorded here in the bottom of the eighth. 9-3 now the score with Krieger crossing home plate. Brings up Nate Houghton Henley, who had a double his last time up. Pitches inside. The 1-0 from Pietto, called strike one on Henley. Giants need to plate some more runs with 5 outs remaining. 1-1. This one was hit foul straight down into the ground, so no catch could be made for anyone. 1-2 now the count to Henley. Henley 1 for 4 in this game with a double and a run just last inning. Trying to continue this chip away mentality for Gaithersburg. Cantiliano on second, Diaz on first. The pitch from Pietto into the lefty batter's box. 2-2 the count to Henley. Henley probably looking for a pitch to pull down the left field line as he did in his last at-bat, but an opposite field knock could do wonders for Diaz on first. 2-2. Left upstairs on Henley. Full count. 87, almost above the head of Henley. Now the full count pitch from Dominic Pietto. Third base unoccupied. Full count, 1 out from Pietto. Swing and a miss from Henley. 81 clipped the zone, but Henley did not clip a part of the baseball, and that's the second out of the bottom of the eighth. Brings up Brady Ruiz-Weiss, had an RBI single, is 2 for 3 this evening. Ball gets away. There will be no throw to either base. Both runners move up 90 feet. 1-0 as Richie, or the home plate umpire, called time. Sounded like Richie wanted a word with his catcher, but ultimately just flips him a new baseball. 1-0, now 2 runners in scoring position. Base knock could make this a 4-run ball game. 1-0. Scoring a bunt, getting it down is Weiss. There is no other play than to first. So the bunt gets down, but nobody scores. And that ends the bottom of the 8th inning stranding. 2 runners in scoring position. Gaithersburg able to get 1 run. It's now 9-3. Back-to-back innings with 1 run. They'll have 3 outs left with to work in the bottom of the 9th to try and get 6 runs, but Until then, they're going to have to play defense. Hudson Green back out on the mound after he faced the minimum in his first inning of work with 2 strikeouts. And we'll be back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Hudson Green back out on the mound. Already has 2 strikeouts to his name across his first inning of work in this appearance. His best inning pitched yet as a Giant. We hope he can somehow improve upon that here in the top of the 9th. First batter he faces is Luke Kiefer, who came in for Jaden Knight. Kiefer pops the first pitch just over the foul net and somehow does not make its way to the soccer field. 0-1 the count now to Kiefer. Called strike 2 now on Kiefer. Trackman not getting a reading on that one. 0-2, grounded over. Diaz has it go off his chest, picks it right back up, delivers a strike over to first, and Rudisill bobbled it on the pick. Rudisill, in disbelief, had to basically pick it twice. And we'll see what the ruling is on that one. Originally bobbled by Diaz at third, picked it right back up, threw over to first, and then bobbled again. So TJ Brockway wants to talk to the umpire who made the call. Obviously, it's not going to reverse anything, but it is a third error on Gaithersburg, and they score it on Diaz. First pitch to Ahern tipped off his bat. Second pitch misses upstairs. It's 1-1 to Caden Ahern. Reached on an error in the top of the 7th. Did not come around to score. Third pitch to Ahern is called ball 2 as it missed upstairs at 75. 2-1 hits the helmet of Ahern. A glancing blow to the helmet. Ahern appears to be okay. Almost unfazed at that one. Came in at 75, so gave Ahern time to react. But now 2 runners on and no outs. Green had a fantastic 8th inning. Hasn't gotten the start he wanted. Had an error on the ground ball and then just hit Ahern on the helmet. And now the first pitch to Santiago Cruz is ball one. 1-0. Swing and a miss by Cruz. 75 outside. One. Runner goes, popped up. Rudisill ranging over. Can't make the grab. 1-2, the count now goes. As Kiefer had quite the jump on everyone. And with the righty bat of Cruz up, would have been a tough throwdown for Hughes to try and make it third base. Colin Hughes now having a word with Hudson Green, as now pitching coach Vinny Capozzo will come out to give baseballs to the home plate umpire, not check in with his reliever. One and two. Two runners on the base paths for Olney, who already find themselves up 6 here in the top of the ninth. That pitch misses way outside, evening the count at 2-2. Two called strike 3. A third punch out for Hudson Green. And the first out of the top of the ninth. Coy Swanson now up to bat. 1 for 3 in this game with a walk and a single. An interesting stance for Swanson. Kind of leans over a lot more than other guys rather than standing straight up. Hinged hips watches strike 1. I think that's a good nickname for Swanson. Hinged hips. 0-1 against Hudson Green. Runners go. Hughes will throw down to second. The high throw doesn't get to Hence's glove in time. And both runners advance. Ball 1 called on that pitch. 2 runners in scoring position. 1-1, 1 out. Pitch from Green. Misses upstairs at 77. Two-one from Hudson Green. Called strike 2. Green virtually uses all of his pitch clock, but delivers quickly here. 2-2 popped up. Hence calls for it and makes the grab. Kind of a scary look there from Hence, who kind of threw his hands up like he didn't know where the baseball was. But because of where he put his palms up, the ball pretty much fell right into his glove. Unproductive out for Coy Swanson. Second out of the top of the ninth brings up Cade Walter. First pitch to Walter. Misses upstairs. Some springs in the knees of Colin Hughes to pop up and grab that one. 1-0, Kiefer on third, Ahern on second. Strike 1 called. Walter 2 for 4 in this game, 2 singles and a walk. As he watches the second ball go by. Popped up to Bryce Rudisil in the 7th inning. 2-1 count now. Just misses out. Colin Hughes trying to frame that up. Unsuccessful in fooling the home plate umpire. 3-1. Hitters count now. Grounded over and foul. A full count on the way to Cade Walter. And it's pick your poison time for Hudson Green. Eyeing his 4th punch out. Trying to get through 2 innings. Full count pitch. Misses ball 4 upstairs. And that's bases loaded for the home run hitter, Walker Zampella. The Cropdusters dugout giving a bit of chirp, saying uh-oh, as Zampella steps into the batter's box. 2 home runs tonight, 1 2-run home run and 1 3-run home run, as well as a single and a stolen base. First pitch to Zampella, popped up, Weiss tracking it, calls for it, and drops it in right field. 1 run scores, 2 run scores, the throw home, tag not applied, and losing it in the lights is Brady Ruiz-Weiss, and it's now 12-3. One of the most costly errors you can have in baseball. Green looked like he was about to get through his best outing yet unscathed, but that error is a killer. And that brings up Carter Ritchie. This one sent into right field. Weiss tracking it, and he makes that grab, diving across his body for out number 3. Hudson Green to a roar of applause from his dugout. It was a great appearance for Green. And now Gaithersburg will have their work cut out for them. 3 outs to score 9 runs. A massive mountain to climb, and they'll have to start it off against a new pitcher on the mound for the Cropdusters, number 7, Glenn Smith, the Austin, Texas native. Might be from Lone Star, but trying to give his whole team another win as the Cropdusters are 3 outs away from another victory. Giants trying to play spoiler, and we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Glenn Smith will have to do battle with Brady Powell to start things off here in the bottom of the ninth. Do or die for Gaithersburg, a tall order at that. Down 9, bottom 9, 3 outs to get 9 runs. Powell pops up the first pitch and out of play. 89 middle, first pitch thrown by Glenn Smith. Smith making his 6th appearance. He's had 3 starts for the Cropdusters. Powell hits this one and lines it just past the glove of Cruz, and he's aboard with a base knock. And Zach White will pinch hit for Colin Hughes. And should Gaithersburg plate 9 and only 9, then White will take over behind the plate for the 10th inning. Hope that if we do get to 9 runs, the 10th one is scored by the Giants for the first Giants walk-off. But once again, a very tall order. First pitch that White has seen today, swings and misses at that one, 79 in the dirt from Smith. Oh, 1 to White. Misses inside. 1-1. Smith on the mound. 17 innings pitched. I mentioned those 3 starts for the Cropdusters. 16 hits given up and 12 runs, 7 of them earned. 7 walks to 12 strikeouts. Strike 2 called on Zach White. Smith with a 3.7 ERA and a 2.42 batting average allowed. 1-2 now to Zach White. Powell takes off. High pitch, high throw down, and it does get into center field, but Walter backing that one up keeps Powell at second base. 2-2. Powell on second. Giants would need Powell to come up and get on base again to tie this game. 2-2. Misses inside, full count now to Zach White. Full count pitch, step off, no throw down to Powell. 1 disengagement for Glenn Smith. Smith, the rising sophomore at Richmond. Full count. Hit hard, lofted into center. Gets over the glove of Henson. Powell holds at third. Runners on the corners. Zach White did just enough to put that one into shallow left field. And I do mean just, as Will Henson did his full vertical to try and get a part of his glove on that one. Brings up Bryce Rudisill now. First pitch low on Rudisill. 1-0 the count now. One 0 misses outside. 2-0. Smith having some issues as Powell is dancing in his face right now on third base. The 2-0 misses in the same spot as the previous pitch, a little lower in fact, but still just as much outside. 3-0 the count to Rudisill. Giants need every single base runner. I imagine he's not swinging at this one. He doesn't. It is called strike 1. Clips belt high on the taller Bryce Rudisill. Taller than me, that is. 3-1. popped up and tails out of play. It's now a full count to Rudisil. So Rudisil already taller than me. I'm 5'9", but last year Gaithersburg had Trey Sahajic from Tulane. The pitcher was listed at 6'6", and then 6'7" on the Tulane website, also in cleats. Full count, swing and a miss by Rudisil. After being up 3-0, Rudisil down on strikes. Gaithersburg now down to their final 2 outs here on this Wednesday evening. This one fouled back into the netting. 0-1 the count now. Home plate umpire requesting some more baseballs on the next dead ball. 0-1 to Magnus Krieger, who's 1 for 4. Called strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. (0-2), swing and a miss by Krieger. And for the 4th time tonight, Magnus Krieger is down on strikes. That brings up Michael Cantiliano. Cantiliano, 1 for 3, has reached base twice, a walk and a single for him. And Gaithersburg down to their final out. This one hit right back up the middle to Henson, who fields it, tosses it to second. And they say White is out at second. And that will put an end to this game. Gaithersburg falls to the Cropdusters, both in the resumed Game 1 and here in the second regularly scheduled game. This time it's 12-3. A shocking result propelled by the big bat of Walker Zampella, who had 2 home runs in this game, a total of 5 RBIs for Zampella. He had a heck of a game, but Gaithersburg falls yet again. And they'll be back home tomorrow night at 7 o'clock to take on the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts here at Criswell Automotive Field. We hope that those of you tuning in could make it out for a game. The best hamburgers in the league here, courtesy of Miss Lisa Harrington. Hope you can come out to enjoy those one day. If not, we hope you keep tuning in on the Giants Broadcast Network. So I'm David Lewis signing off here from Gaithersburg. Final score, Cropdusters 12,